Hey folks, and welcome to the Canadian Smokehouse, where this site is going to be dedicated to folks like you and me that are just amateur smokers and just have a love for sausage. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at a recipe for Polish sausage. It's a pretty simple recipe. You're going to notice in my videos I have here that I'm going to be using a lot of pre-mixed spices because it's a hell of a lot simpler than us invading our wife's pantry and having our own big bags of spices. And what I've been finding is I've been ordering online, going through a bunch, trying different things, and I'm finding people I like, people I don't. One we're going to use today is called Sausage Maker. You get it at sausagemaker.com. Last batch of sausage I made the roasted garlic sausage there, and I've never seen my wife wolf down that much meat in my life. So I'm very happy with these folks. For this one today, we're not going to be using any wild game. My next show coming out, I'm probably going to film tomorrow and done this batch, is going to be venison. We're going to go through the grinding. My wife actually shot two beautiful does late November. They're fat, they're succulent, they're going to make good meat. So for this one here, I've already got all my measurements pre-measured out. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to show you folks just how simple this is. I'm going to share with you guys a couple tricks too I use for finishing my sausage we'll get to. One of them is the amount of time in the smokehouse. The reality is, especially if you're Canadian and it's in the winter, you don't always have 12 hours for the smoker, and it's not necessary. I worked underneath a gentleman by the name of Uli who owned and operated Parkland Packers. He is from Switzerland, and that man can make sausages better than anyone else you'd ever imagine. I wish I could touch his recipes. When I was a young boy working for him, I never would have realized some of the stuff I would have learned. I'm going to share with you today. So what we're going to start off with is I'll show you what I got in here. Jenny, my wife, my beautiful assistant, if she wants to take a look in here. We're going to change the recipe up a little bit in the back, but I like to do this. This is pork and beef. So I've got 6 pounds of pork, 4 pounds of beef. I find the best pork to use is from Costco. Get their lean ground pork and you're getting the least amount of fat. The perfect amount of fat. You don't want these things gross, and this is perfect. As for the beef, it's a beef that a good friend of ours, Wade, who is a cattle farmer here in beautiful Alberta, raised these for me. And I tell you, one thing I'll go about a lot is the importance of buying local. You know, when you know where your meat comes from, and you know where your food comes from, and besides tasting better and helping the economy, it's just a hell of a lot better for you. And you'll see here, we're going to go over some of the common things you need for making sausage. Do you need it? No. I've got it over the time I've been going through this, is a meat mixer. I would recommend this. They're a very, very, very valuable thing. You'll get one of these for under 200 bucks, 150 bucks. And this is a bigger one. You can get them even smaller. But the thing is, when you're trying to mix your meat with all your ingredients, it's better than being up to your elbows in sticky tacky meat, and this just makes it go a lot simpler. So, first thing we're going to do is add some ingredients. Like I said, I changed things up a little bit in this recipe. I got a bunch of crushed garlic here. Where I come from, you can't have enough of this stuff. Typically, Polish sausage does not have garlic, but you know what? Typically, Polish sausage doesn't come mixed out of a container anyways. We're going to go through some movies as we get a little more advanced. They're not even advanced, it's just a matter of measuring directions. We're going to go through one of the books I have on traditional Polish sausage. Knock your socks off. But this garlic here, there's about a whole clove in here that's crushed up. Garlic, granulated, or whatever you want to call it, powder, can be overwhelming. This in the sausage, everyone loves it. The aroma is awesome, so I'm going to dump that in there. And I don't like to waste any, so I'm going to put this meat through here and get all those beautiful oils we had in there. The original recipe calls for pints, and luckily we have Google, because I know what a pint is, but I just don't know how I could measure that at home. I could use a pint glass, but I want to be a little more specific. So we got that going. Now I'm going to add the water. So we'll add the water slowly. It's the ice water. The importance of ice water is you just want to keep everything cold. This is going to help keep it real tacky. We're going to add about half of this. Give it a mix, and then we're going to add some of our cure. And go the other way just to get her going too. As you can see in there, things are mixing, things are getting happy. Smelling really good. There we go. You can feel it already tacking up a little bit. So, what I'm going to move to here now is cure. This is so important to get. All the stuff you're going to see here today, you get online. You go online, the way the dollar is, folks, most of the time shipping is free, you're good to go. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about a Canadian company, show you a recipe I'm going to use there. They got free shipping here for the rest of the year. they're just as good. But it's important you use this. You have to use this. This will prevent anyone from getting sick. This actually cures your meat. Yes, 2 level teaspoons. Right here. Teaspoon. This is the nice thing with having a mixer again, is it helps get all the stuff evenly divided. So now, if by chance you don't get all your sausages up to proper cooking temperature, so keep these here, no one's going to die. I recommend always use it. Don't skip out on that. It's very, very cheap. Oh, one of the hard things to do when you're mixing this is not sneeze. So we're just going to keep her mixing. Add the rest of our spices. And then we're going to move on to a binding agent. Now, the thing is, yes, you can mix it like this, and you can stuff sausages like this, and you're off to the races, but if you get the proper ingredients that we're going to go through, you're going to want to add a soy protein. What a soy protein does is, like when you bite into any other sausage, it's what keeps it combined. It gives it beautiful texture. You'll see that after, and it's really worth it. Again, get it online. Save yourself the money. I find that, you see online, people will say, oh, go to your local butcher shop. They're not in any big rush to sell you the shit. They'd love to sell you the sausage at a price, but they're not going to help you any other way. It's a reality. So, we're going to add the rest of our water here, and soy protein. Here's soy protein concentrate. Got this from the sausage maker online as well. You can get it anywhere though. I found a Canadian company. We're going to talk about the next movie. We make wild game sausage. But 2 cups of this. This has absolutely no flavor. What this does is act as a protein for a binding agent. If you have access to a lot of pork, it's you can use gristle off pork, which has been ground up, almost liquefied in the food processor. Acts the same way. It's the same kind of thing that I guess when you cook pork or your ham after, or roast, you leave it in the fridge, you get that jelly that shakes on top. It's the same stuff. But again, I'm trying to show you folks how easy this is to do. Never be afraid to add more water either. And change the recipes up the way you like. I'm gonna, in this case, put my lid on now. Then I can get cooking. And if I don't see this getting a little moisture in a bit, I'm going to add some more water. And I can tell already it needs water. So, probably use another cup. It's like if you were making pancakes or something, you just want to look for the consistency of the meat. And you're going to see how it's already, that concentrate, that soybean concentrate, if you look in there, is making it bindy and pasty. It's going to clean this up, put it on the sides, but if you look, it's like this. You can see it's sticking, it's tacky. That is what you want. So it's going to go through stuff on the sides. If you make sausages, you're going to get your hands dirty. And I don't like to bite into flavor burst of mix or spices when I'm cooking it or when I'm eating it. So I'll take the minute to mix it up. But you see how if you tried to do this by hand, it would just be a bugger. So that's it for the spices. We got her in here, she's mixing up. Believe it or not, the smoking part coming up is the easy part. We're there. Okay, so we're going to move on to the stuffing of the sausage.